So when I was growing up, I didn't really have the most stable childhood. We bounced around from state to state, probably every 6 months to a year, because my father also had an addiction. For multiple years, I didn't think I had a drinking problem, but throughout the years, as time progressed and went on, I realized that I started drinking more and more to kind of cover up the feelings that I had inside me and just try to get away from the world and block everything out. I felt like I was at my lowest with my drinking when I was taken in for my DWAI. I was brought into jail. I had to spend a good 2 to 3 weeks there, and the only thing I could think about was getting back out and having that drink again. And as soon as I got back out, I lost my family, I lost contact with my kids, and I realized that if I kept up on this path that I was going to end up alone and probably dead early for no reason, just like my father. So I decided to go ahead and take the next step, which was coming here to Harvest Farms.
I'm Seth Forwood. I'm the Senior Director at Fort Collins Rescue Mission and Harvest Farm. Harvest Farm is a 100-acre farm. It's a working farm. It has animals, goats, cows, tractors, barns. And the purpose of it is to provide a refuge for men who are trying to escape addiction and homelessness. Harvest Farm provides a refuge for up to 72 men. We work with those men on all the parts of life that they need work on. Men come to us with complex issues, and so we have a lot of different ways that we try to address those issues. And at the heart of that is their spiritual development. Recovery has to have some kind of spiritual awakening for it to be long-lasting, and we meet our men where they're at.
So I graduated the program 9 years ago, and I came to the farm when I was in a dark place in my life, and the farm taught me a new freedom. So I connect with them on a lived experience basis. I look at them as we're equals. We're on this recovery journey together, and I think we connect well, and I connect well with the guys doing it.
Harvest Farm is a refuge. You know, it's in rural Colorado, and it needs to be a refuge. And Fort Collins Rescue Mission is embedded right in the middle of Fort Collins. Community support is vital to our work at Harvest Farm. That could be churches that welcome our men into their services. It could be a small group, or it could be individual people sacrificing their time or sacrificing their money to keep our program going. But we cannot do Harvest Farm without our surrounding community.
The phases are 3 phases. They come in at an orientation phase, which is kind of a grounding phase to get acclimated to the program. 2 months into it, they go into what we call foundation. Foundation is kind of when the program starts, technically, with life skills and education classes, where they're going to that 3 days a week. They do that for 10 weeks. Once they get done with that, they graduate and go into the transition phase, which is the work phase, where they actually go out and find a job. They work up to 7 more months and save all their money while they're living here. So when they do graduate, they've got a nest egg in the bank. It's just a better chance of starting.
When I first got here, I didn't realize how open and free it really was. I don't think that I could have ever opened up as much as I have in this process if all these people weren't willing to open up themselves. I love the fact that I get to do such big elaborate meals and cook for 70 guys a day. I've actually been able to save my marriage with my wife. We're actually going on counseling here, and then I've been able to see my daughter about 6 to 7 times already through visitation and her coming to the farm. And just last week we had a tea party, and it was one of the most beautiful things I've actually been able to do with her.
Dan has changed because Dan has the want and the will to change. And he's stuck to his goals, and he's serious about his recovery. And I see him continuing that after he leaves as well.
It's incredible to see how with one life transformed, it goes on to transform a whole family, a whole church, and a whole community.